Serious, massage therapists of Reddit, what are some of your biggest pet peeves and horror stories of your trade? Biggest pet peeve, bad hygiene. For the love of all things holy, please shower before you get a massage. People who are sweaty and smelly are not fun to massage. It's gross and disrespectful. Horror story, this not very attractive lady in her late 40s grabbed my junk during a couple's massage, with her husband on the adjacent table. It was so awkward telling her to, please stop. Keep your hands on the table please. While in massage school we had an instructor from one of the other programs the school offered and he had never had a massage before. I was considered one of the best massage students at the school, so he came in during my clinic hours to get a massage from me. As a professional in training I never had any issue massaging other males, so I led him into the therapy room and instructed him to undress to his comfort level and briefly left the room. When I came back in the therapy room, he was face down on the table as instructed with his shirt off. I immediately noticed that something didn't look right with the skin on his back, so I politely asked him if there were any skin or muscle conditions he had that he maybe forgot to put on his med forms. He stated he did not, so I proceeded with the massage. I lotioned my hands and touched his back and to my disgust realized why his back looked weird to me in the dim light. His back was a minefield of giant blackheads. His back literally looked like the surface of the moon. I stared to panic and wasn't sure what I should do. I knew if I was going to make this a career I had to get used to things like this and act professionally. I continued the massage. As I am massaging his back, it feels as though I am down stroking bubble wrap. It's like there's nerd, the candy, under his skin. As I start to warm the skin and get the blood flowing on his back, some of the blackheads start working loose. They are now coating my hands and getting stuck between my fingers. There's a weird smell that starts filling the air. By this point, I am sweating and getting increasingly nauseous. I'm not sure how much more I can take and I am desperately trying to come up with an excuse to end the massage as professionally as possible and without hurting this nice man's feelings. Luckily, just as I am about to end the massage his phone starts ringing and he gets a voicemail. He sits up and thanks me for a fantastic massage, but he has been expecting a call and has to end the session early. I'm so relieved I can barely contain myself. I leave the room to let him get dressed. I proceed to the bathroom to wash up and look at my hands. They are covered in a greyish, lotion and blackhead stew. I remain in the bathroom and wash my hands for the remainder of my clinic day. That is freaking awful. You're a trooper. Not including the odd rub and tug requests which every female therapist will get at least once during her massage career. I had a paraplegic once ask me to massage his nipples. Definitely wasn't for therapeutic purposes. It's not my fault this is happening. 5 more minutes of this and I'm gonna get mad. In massage school I was the youngest girl, 17 at the time, in a class of about 15 people. There were 2 men only in class. One was 25, the older was in his 40s. We would do 2 hours of listening to the teacher then 2 hours of massage trading. This one particular class, a 40-year-old man and myself got paired up. No biggie, right? I'd have to get used to working with all types of people. What him and I didn't know was that we were doing inner thighs first. We are training to be professional, so we gave it a shot. Poor guy kept his eyes closed the entire time I rubbed his thighs and was probably trying to pray a boner away. When he had to do mine his hands were trembling so much. It was really awful for both of us. Luckily we were only spending half an hour each on thighs before moving on to the next area, chests and abdomen. I chose to join another pair and he did the same. I'll never stop cringing and laughing about that experience. I like that despite this story being uncomfortable, it was more about trying to be respectful to each other rather than being off-put. I think you're an alright human. One of my biggest pet peeves is people that don't show up for their appointment or cancel 15 minutes before. People need to understand we get paid per massage, not hourly unless you're in a spa. If you don't show up we don't get paid. If you cancel 15 minutes before we can't fill that space in that amount of time, so we don't get paid. It's much better if you just call and cancel. Peeves. My worst horror story was a guy that came in for massage. I can totally deal with a little bit of BO, but this guy, holy crap, the entire clinic reeked of BO. when he took off his shirt. Very obvious that this guy did not shower or change his clothes often. His singlet was covered in yellow stains. Worst massage I've ever done. I was almost gagging on the smell. He booked again to my horror and I said, next time you come and I want you to have a nice hot shower before you come and so that your muscles are nice and relaxed. Did he? No, he did not. I asked him if he had showered and he said, oh yeah, the other day. Cringe. Oh yeah, and one of his skin things broke off and crumbled in my hand. Hands down worst day of my massage life. When I first started doing massage about 15 years ago, I was working in a fancy spa type setting. I was doing a couples massage along with my coworker. I was massaging the lady and she was massaging the gentleman. Well, unfortunately the gentleman had a Sacagawea coin-sized pus-filled blister on his back that popped during the massage. Every time my coworker made a pass down his back, the blister would glurp a little more of its heck juice onto his back. Our clients were both face down, so we were making the most wretched faces at each other to express our disgust as my coworker did her best to avoid touching the yellow mess. Over the 10 years I did massage therapy, I saw some interesting things and met some characters, but I will never forget that blister. In retrospect, I don't know why we didn't say something about it to him. I guess we figured he must have known about it because it was huge. I have to say I've been rather fortunate as a massage therapist in terms of horror stories or horror clients. I work in a small office that is focused on the therapeutic aspect of massage, rather than the spa treatment. We still do that stuff, but it's not the main reason our clients come and see us. When I was in school, I had a lady who would frequent our student clinic, and she would request me. Nice lady, but holy freaking crap did she have emotional baggage. I think I saw her maybe 5 different times and every single time she would flip from prone to supine. She would immediately have a tearful emotional response, and then she would pour her heart out to me about what was wrong in her life. I politely listened, and didn't say much beyond the occasional one-word affirmation. She never tipped me cash, but she would give me astrological advice. Personally, I don't buy into that stuff, but it was a nice gesture. I'm a male massage therapist. When I first started at my job, I had a male client grind into the table while he was prone. When I had turned him supine, he asked if I could massage his stomach. I started my stomach routine, but was aware of a different consistency on my hands. Something that wasn't my oil. I was desperately trying to figure out what it was. Had I accidentally mixed oils? When the treatment had ended, he tipped me $100 with a big grin and left. I knew what that strange consistency was now. After my shift, I went to the bar my buddy worked at and spent the $100 on a giant burger, 3 packs of cigarettes, alcohol, and tipped them the rest. I didn't want anything to do with that frickin' money. It taught me to be more aware and direct with the client when that crap starts happening. My biggest pet peeve is people refusing to work with me because I'm a male and their own body issues. I had a lady come into where I worked for a couples massage with her daughter. The mother was booked with me, and when my co-worker, female, and I got out there to greet them, she looked at me, then at my co-worker, then quickly to her daughter, then back at me, and said, "Can we switch?" I didn't have a problem with that because I'm used to people wanting to switch therapists when they see me since I'm a guy, but when we're walking them back to the room, she says, "I'm sorry, it's just that I haven't worked out in a while, and I don't have that nice of a body anymore," and I cut her off, and told her it was okay and that she had the wrong idea, and ultimately didn't care what she looked like and continued on. Talking to the receptionists, I learned that a lot more women ask, "Is he cute?" than I thought. I've always been self-conscious about getting a massage because my back has a few spots here and there. This thread has put me off getting one for the rest of my life. I'm a licensed massage therapist and find some of these responses appalling. No respectable massage therapist gives a crap about acne or blackheads, or body hair, or fat rolls. Most of us genuinely want to help you relax and feel better. I worked as a massage therapist and I also used to work as a receptionist at a clinic. People who want sexual favors. Where I worked in London there was a really high density of Arabic people. I don't know what it is about Arabic culture, but I don't think that they have a word for massage and just use the same word as prostitute. You have to be so clear, and once they get the point that they are not going to get a happy ending, they walk out. Cancellations. If I was working ad hoc, I would travel into work, set up, and then they would not turn up. Then would be really shocked when they got charged when they didn't turn up. It only took a few weeks for me to insist on payment in advance for new patients. Gonna come with a story of the opposing side. Once I had a Thai massage. The woman was like 35, asked me to undress completely. 16-year-old me laid butt naked on my belly for half an hour. At the end, the woman would go from my neck down and end at my balls. Maybe it was an accident, but after the 4th ball scratch I was rock hard. She then asked me to turn around. Me with a massive boner refused. God, it was so awkward trying to control it and then turn around with a face painted with concentration. TLDR. It was awesome. It's my time to shine. Do not get on my table if you are dripping sweat. Seriously, the only way this is acceptable is if we are doing a sports massage, preferably at an event. I've been a licensed massage therapist for 4 years now, and 2 weeks ago, for the first time ever, I had an older man think it was okay to try to kiss me. I had to push him off of me. I did not stop to think about his welfare, or him potentially suing my small practice. I only thought about my boundaries and my safety. After re-establishing my boundaries, I showed him the door. Goodbye, creepy old man. But, all of those massage P videos, they couldn't be wrong. I'm a massage therapist working in a pretty nice salon spa in the US. I've only been doing this for about 2 years, so I don't have any super crazy stories yet, but it's always a little shocking when people start to undress while I'm still trying to do the consultation. I left the door open because I was planning on waiting outside and closing it so you could undress in peace and get settled under the blanket, but I guess I can pretend you're not stripping right in front of me. Other than that, not much bothers me. No massage therapist worth their salt is going to be disgusted by your acne or body hair or the extra weight you put on. As long as you're clean and pleasant, there won't be a problem. Also, especially in spa settings, we don't get the entire amount you pay for your service. Where I work, I make 48% commission, which is at the higher end of the spectrum from what I understand, minus $5 for the cost of having the sheets professionally laundered. My salon charges $67 for a 1-hour massage. Most therapists aren't booked fully every day either, and when our schedule is open we aren't getting paid. I make around $700 every 2 weeks, depending how busy I am. I'm not going to get all pissy if I don't get tipped, but it's obviously appreciated. Male empty here. For a time, I worked near a beach city that had a lot of women come in during spring break. I would say over half of the women would ask, "Is he cute?" I would meet them before the massage and tell them to undress to their comfort level and get under the blanket face down. I can't tell you how many times I've knocked on the door with them telling me to come in and they're completely nude just standing there. I have always wanted to know, is it strange to be fully naked for a massage? What percentage of people do that? I've always left my underpants on because I didn't know what the etiquette was, even though it's not comfortable and harder to relax. Most massage therapists are totally fine with you undressing completely. Leaving your underwear on is fine too, although it's much easier to massage the hips and glutes if you take them off. Please, for the love of God, relax your arms. People tense their arms way too much. Take a deep breath and let go. Unless I ask for your help, I am perfectly capable of draping and undraping a body part. Oh boy, my time to shine. I've worked for 4 years at a spa and seen some crap. I'm 23-year male ATM. Both good and bad times happened. 2 stories. I'll tell more if you want more. 1. There was this big mama type of woman who came for a hammam. It is given in the sauna area and involves a lot of water. Look it up. It's really cool. So this woman had loads of rough patches on her skin. I think she had psoriasis or something like that. It wasn't contagious. I just had to be careful with scrubbing. Now, remember how I said we use a lot of water? Now, most water slides off the body, but some will stay in the depressions of the body, the lower back, and between the butt cheeks. Between the butt cheeks she had some kind of white mold. like the white hairs you see on old sandwiches. When the water filled her gap between the butt cheeks, some old hairs swayed like seaweed. Horrifying. 2. The spa was connected to a hotel. This woman, only a couple years older than me, came for a massage. Now, I'm an butt guy. She looked pretty good, but that butt, one of the best I've ever had the joy of massaging. She wanted a massage of 30 minutes, but I gave her 40. It was that good. Now, this was straight out of porno. After I finished the massage she said this. "Oh, is that all? But I want more." The way she said it made clear she wanted more. I had to stay professional and tell her, yes, that was all. It's a one-on-one situation where the other is naked. I have to be very careful with what I say and do, so I couldn't react to her the way I actually wanted to. Had she asked me to join her to her rooms, I would have said yes. I've got loads of stories like these. Most are fun to tell, but weren't as fun when they happened. More. You showed more restraint than me on the second point. Biggest pet peeve. Coming in with boils. Actually happened. Complaining you didn't get the full time when you showed up late. Horror story. In a couple's massage, a guy grabbed my hand and put it right above his dong and gave me a very lustful look. Also, old man accidentally grazed my butt then my vagina. I also had a guy win a free massage and then tipped me his phone number. Do not ever do this. Also, Yelpers are the absolute worst. They usually tip $5. The work we do is hard on our bodies and most of us only last about 7 years, so please go easy on us. Please do not demand outrageous pressure that will leave both of us injured. I am very heavy-handed and give a great deep tissue. I come off as very sweet and innocent. I'm in my early 20s, and in my opinion pretty attractive, so I think it makes people more aggressive than they normally would be. My girlfriend's mom is a message therapist. Here's a quick nasty story. She had this guy who was creepy and obviously looking for more than a message, happy ending or something like that, but she made it clear that wouldn't happen. He had the message anyway. She said he was enjoying it a lot. When she finished and walked him out, he said sorry about the mess. Confused, she went to the table to check. He came on the freaking table. Believe it or not, this guy had the balls to call and book another message weeks later, and she accepted him. Don't ask me why, but she gave him a talking to and he didn't see him this time. My pet peeve is when I go to greet a client who won't shake my hand because they have been feeling a little sick and don't want to get me sick. What do you think is going to happen when I touch the rest of your body? Pet peeve. Self-consciousness. I don't give a crap if you have scars, cancer, blemishes, birthmarks, stretch marks, ostomy bags, whatever. I have literally seen it all before. I don't care. As long as you are reasonably clean, I just want to make you feel better than you are now and to get you to head out the door in a state of relaxation. Horror story. Well, I guess I have been pretty lucky. I have had my share of clients with body odor, cleanliness issues, scuzzy feet, whatever. That's just kinda a crappy part of the job. I suppose the worst I had was when someone had said that they used to be a massage therapist and if I could come to their home they would be happy to teach me some things. Sad, I politely informed her that I do not do home visits. Had given a prenatal massage to a patient carrying twins about 6 years ago. I go through the typical questions and I could tell something was a little off. She was evading the questions and I didn't feel like she was being honest. Within minutes I start hearing a beeping noise and freaked because I thought my phone was on. Nope. Realizing it was coming from her, I stopped the massage and started to grill her. For all who don't know, there are very few things that are contraindicated in massage therapy. A woman who is considered high-risk pregnancy, such as carrying twins, have had multiple miscarriages, who are under their first trimester, first-time pregnancy or cervical cancer are a major concerns for our field of work. Not only was she pregnant with twins, had multiple miscarriages in the past, was on strict bed rest at home with fluidives, but she also had a medical pump inserted into her cervix to prevent her cervix from dilating. I was furious. I chewed her out so bad I made her cry. Not only did she risk my license being revoked, more importantly in my eyes was she risked her twins' lives. I could have killed her backed by causing a premature labor. My friend is a therapist booked months in advance by customers. She is very good. Her horror stories have been from butthole customers hitting on her and propositioning her. She calls the cops occasionally. She also gets customers who be at her for not having appointments immediately. Like, sorry, she's popular B. She's good at her job. Worst, she wasn't a patient, but she worked in the farmer's market stand out back. She collapsed in intense pain, and we rushed her through the back door to my table while waiting for the EMTs. She was passing a kidney stone. It's fascinating how differently people release on the table. Some giggle, some fart, some burst into tears, some fall asleep, and some chatter incessantly. The body holds on to trauma in many ways, and lets go of it in many ways, too. I have a really bad back, arthritis in my spine, and scoliosis in 3 different places. I would kill for a massage, but I also have very sensitive skin and some mild acne on my back, which I find embarrassing. Do you think a massage therapist would turn me away cause back acne? As a LMT, I massage people with acne on their back quite frequently. It's not a big deal. We are in the business to help with things like scoliosis and arthritis. This is more of a question for massage therapists. What is an appropriate tip? My context: I was getting regular massages for a few injuries that were work related. But my massages were being covered by my workers' comp through a chiropractor's practice, so I had no out-of-pocket expense. I realized after a couple massages that I wasn't really sure what was inappropriate in terms of tipping not tipping. Nobody I've talked to has had a clear answer. I worked in physical therapy as a PTA before doing what I do now. We mostly had soccer moms and older individuals as our patients. It'd always bother me when they'd act like I'm their personal masseur and ask me to massage areas not affected by their injury, then get offended when I tell them no. In all of the massage parlors in Dubai, there is a place to shower within the massage room, along with all the needed soap and shampoo. They even give you your own pair of netted stockings to wear after. My pet peeve doesn't occur while massaging, but when talking to my male friends about my job, and they all talk about my job like I'm jacking off and fingering every client. A CMT or LMT is not a sex worker. LMT here. My biggest pet peeve: people who keep their eyes open during the massage. It shows me that they're not relaxed and in turn makes me panic a bit. Enjoy the experience and I will too. Also, being called masseurs instead of massage therapist. I didn't spend thousands of dollars and 1,000 hours studying to be called a freaking masseurs. Genuine question. I have very sensitive muscles. Like, you'll touch and they lock in a spasm, even more so. Medical condition. Is there a special type of massage I should look for to reduce tension? I don't mind heavy-handed, but light touching is bad. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.